So today I'm going to work on the camper shell. I got to pull these Christmas lights off that I put in. I had to go to a little charity thing, so I just hooked up a inverter right here. Hopefully you can see that a little bit, but I just hooked up lights, drilled a hole in this cab since I don't plan on using it, and that's what the Christmas lights looked like. They're giving away a bunch of presents for kids, so I went to this little drive-through thing. So I'm gonna jump in the camper, throw a light in there, undo that, and then start getting these panels prepped and ready for welding. You can see I gotta take all these lights out. All I did was I kind of hung up behind the screws. So here we go. Pulling these panels off. I have to get this last little knob off, or I can't get the panel off. So basically all I did was make sure all my panels butted up. That way whenever I pinch them together and weld them, it fits back on here decently. So these are kind of a tight fit. I'm a little nervous to see how it is whenever I have to move the whole panel in at once and press it on. I'm probably going to have to take this hinge off just so that I can slide it all up there in once. The front that we'll see later, you kind of have to like wiggle it in there to get it in there, but it'll be nicer whenever it's all welded in one piece. That way I can paint all of that with a cool mural. I'm going to try to get some artist guys to paint a cool mural on the inside. But here's the other piece. I'm sure you're blown out by that light, but I'm going to lay these out on the floor and get ready to clamp some together and start welding them up. That's what they look like, just kind of laid out on the floor. Nothing too crazy, but I just have to get all these edges welded up. And they're not very long, which is good. I haven't had a TIG welder in a long time, so hopefully after all these panels are welded up, I'll have a little more experience under my belt. Especially because when we were in school, I think we were doing like 1/8 inch and 1/4 inch aluminum. We weren't doing 40 thousandths aluminum, which is real thin. I'm getting ready to practice some welds on some aluminum. So I need to line the seams up and TIG weld those together. I really haven't TIG welded aluminum in a long time. I did a little bit on my camper rear door, but they were disgusting welds and it didn't matter that much. So I just turned it up high, just melted it all. I just made sure the puddle. It was dirty aluminum, which is not good to work with. So what we're gonna do is clean up these seams. You always want to have real clean seams for aluminum. All the dirt in there melts and kind of spits at you. So I'm going to clean that up. I'm going to try this, the green tungsten. See how that goes, but I got to grind this down also. I got all these from this guy and he never grinded the tips. So I got to grind this down, clean these samples up. I bought all these Olympia tool clamps that I like, real long ones. These panels are big, so I want to make sure that all my surfaces are really clamped down tight. I don't want my seam, as you weld, it'll shrink, but so I want to make sure and hammer it out and make sure my weld doesn't open up or close up too much. A lot of times it will close up and you have to hammer it and stretch that weld back up so that it opens the gap. So hopefully that made a little bit of sense, but I'm gonna get to it. This is stainless steel wire brush. I only use this one on aluminum. So on aluminum, it oxidizes, it gets dirt and stuff on it, so you always want to really clean that. It's probably not. So now these two surfaces are cleaned up. I'm gonna do the backside too, just because I haven't done this in a long time. I just want to make sure that it welds okay. If it pops and stuff, and then you got to fill in a hole, it's always way worse. Just because I would like to grind this flush, and I would like the welds to be as minimal as possible. And so my goal is to try to get this seam to be as small as possible. I don't want big gaps in there. Like I said, I'm not a professional aluminum TIG welder, but I just want to practice on these pieces, make sure I get all my settings set up. That way I don't blast some nasty holes in my panels. That I don't have a bead roller, so I can't fix them if I mess them up. So I want to make sure that these panels weld up okay, and I don't have to grind forever, and hopefully after I grind it down it doesn't look too bad. I'm going to paint a mural in there, so I would like it to be kind of smooth, and the places where there isn't a mural, I don't want it to be big ugly welds. So try to keep those gaps as tight as you can. I know you can't really tell, but that's pretty tight, so we'll see how it goes. So we're going to set up the Lincoln TIG 200 square wave. These are pretty easy to work with. This button, the A, is for amps. I don't know if you can see that. I'm not going to use pulse. I haven't really practiced with pulse yet, so I don't want to try that yet. My AC, balance, frequency, I set it to 70. If you want to learn more about that, you can look online. It's got to do with the oxidation and stuff on the outside of the aluminum, about how you heat it up. Look online. The Fabricator series guy, he has a cool video on it. 70-30 is fine. So we're gonna start with that. I would think 21 amps is gonna be pretty low. I'm actually gonna set my amperage to about 50. Start there and see what we think. My metal is 40 thousandths. There's a little guide on here. Hopefully you can see that, but 35 amps is about 24 thousandths, and 75 amps is about 60 thousandths. So I'm gonna split the difference and start with 50 thousandths and see how that goes. Alright, we're back for another round. So today I've been grinding these welds down. They're not pretty, trust me, but they're working. So I'm trying to grind those as smooth as I can. I'm gonna have to go back and work these little bead rolls a little more. I've just been using this angle grinder. It's slow. I'm gonna maybe buy another grinder, so I'm just kind of knocking these down for now. I can test fit the panels in the camper, make sure everything's working, everything fits right, and then I'll do some final sanding and grinding. I want to get a little air, 90 degree, little grinder with some different grits, so I can see how well I can polish that up. I'm not expecting it to be perfect, trust me. You see my truck, but I do want it to look decent, because on the inside of all this will be painted, and I wanted all this silver, but if it doesn't turn out great, I might even do like the outside and around the windows. I might even do that like some kind of weird wood grain or paint, kind of brown to match the outside of the camper, but I'd rather it be silver. It just depends on how well I grind all these welds down and how that turns out. So back to it. So to wrap up this video, so they're all welded up. I grinded them down. You can kind of tell maybe that there's some lines in here a little. So I need to really do a lot more grinding. I need to do a lot different grit. I think I was using 80 grit on the angle grinder, but I'm gonna go down as far as I can. I like all this aluminum to look the same across here. And try to polish that up a little bit. Like I said, there'll be a mural on the inside of here and then leave all the outside. So it's got a lot more work to do, but I'll grab some more sandpaper and run back across it. I'm gonna weld the back side of all these beads. Aluminum's really prone to cracking, so I want to make sure there's no issues later on. So I'll run a bead across the back also. I need to work on tuning the welder. I think what I was doing is I was running way too much pressure on the argon, so I was having trouble controlling the arc. I was reading a little bit more. Like I said, I haven't been in school for welding since 2002, so it's been a long time. So I need to work on that, practice a little bit more. You know, it's not that it's not fixable, it's just that I don't have a bead roller, so I need all this to work and pan out. So, for now, they're welded together, a lot more grinding, a lot more fine tuning. I want to make sure those fit. The next video, I'll weld the front bin panel, which will be a little bit harder, but I'll get that done in the next video. So I hope you guys liked it. Make sure and subscribe. I'm gonna try to do a lot more camper videos, because in 2 weeks we're about to go to Joshua Tree with our friend who does City Girl Unplugged, and some more friends, and do a little off-roading in my truck and sleep in the camper. So I'd like to get some installation in there, get these panels fine-tuned. One of the guys showing up is the artist that I'm trying to get to do a mural in my camper, so I would like it to look nice whenever he sees it, and hopefully he'll be a little more excited on getting it done quicker or signing up for it, because I haven't really asked him yet. So hope you guys enjoy. Subscribe to the channel. Let me know what you guys think I should have on the mural. Let me know what you guys want to see next. Later. Thanks for watching.